How's it going, everyone? Luxley going right into the action in Waterworks, or at Waterworks might be more appropriate English. Had a choice: go to Mines, go to Waterworks, and I went to Waterworks to face two Warlocks, one Destro, the other Affliction, who is basically taking a bath right now. His name is I Love to Party, and he is going to be dead soon. Thanks for playing. I almost feel bad for this Demon Hunter. Almost. Not quite, because he is a Demon Hunter, and it's soon to be. Thanks for playing, Dolores. Moving right along, we're going to head right over to Lighthouse, where I see there's a Shadow Priest stun on him, which is probably a bad idea when he's in Bladestorm. But here's the thing, we all make mistakes. We all make panic moves. Sometimes they're misclicks, and I guess only when people repetitively do those kind of things, it's bad. But in this case, it could have been a panic move, or it simply could have been a misclick. I misclick all the time. I got to figure out a good spot to put my token, my trinket. That's what it's called. My token trinket. Got to figure out a good place to put it. I often misclick it, especially in arena. So I mean, we all do that. So it's back to Waterworks because we have to defend it. It looks like there's two Demon Hunters, two Mages, and a healer who's off on the side. Disc Priests are in a really good position. I wouldn't say they're very strong in BGs. I will say they're extremely strong in arena, 2s and 3s. So I'm very surprised. That's one of the things that I tend to be a little bit off the mark with. I mean, usually I'm right when I'm anticipating what's going to happen or how things will play out with particular classes or features in the game. I really kind of feel like I have my hands on the pulse of what's going on and what the player base is looking for, especially when it comes to PvP. But I was very, very wrong about Disc Priest. I didn't think that that pure hybrid of damage and healing would be an asset in PvP. I thought it would fail, and I must admit I was very, very wrong about that. But we're hitting a bit of an impasse, even though we have the lead. They're going to have two bases soon. It's about 365 to almost 200. Two mages here, a boomkin, and a priest. Now, what's interesting, I always see this. The Horde always seem to stack their healers at the same base, which is a very, very offensive and aggressive kind of play. And I think it does work very well, especially in this battleground. Now, if they had three healers in this scenario, we would not take this base. As long as those healers were competent and they were hitting the right buttons at the right time and they somewhat knew what they were doing. In other words, if they were me, okay, I'm not a great healer, but I don't suck either. So if there were three players like me who were healers at one base, we would not take it. But we're lucky there's only two, and we took them out. Now you'll see how easy it is to take out the remaining survivors, even though there's two Demon Hunters here. Dolores, again, who's in a better position than kind of swimming in the water like he was before, but whatever. I got to keep in mind that these Horde Demon Hunters have that silence, and it's never a good idea to stick around close to them as opposed to Alliance, who don't have that silence. We're, of course, speaking from a caster's perspective, but we just, there's a Warlock again in a bad spot. You don't want to be in the water. That is not a good place. Thanks for playing. So 505 to 357, heading back to a Lighthouse, and we're going to put some pressure on Nyx, who's probably going to hit Cauterize because he's moving a little bit too fast, and he's running for his life. Now, there's a panic move that you may or may not have noticed with this warrior there. The priest kind of threw his stun on him, and he was in Bladestorm. Now, that could have been a misclick, or that could have been a desperation move. It could be either, and everybody does that. You know, the big YouTubers that are, 2,400 rated, they edit that shit out. I just keep it in there. I mean, of course, I'm not the one who did it, but my point is we all make mistakes. We really do. I don't care if you're Bajir, you're Swifty, you're Soda Poppin', you're Cartoons. We all make mistakes. I'm perfectly willing to show mine. I don't see it from a lot of the big other YouTubers. They're always just running around in battlegrounds with three healers and two people setting up kills for them, and well, that math doesn't work out, but usually two healers and two people setting up kills. Solid 75% of the time, it's just me and my arrow and a lot of Starfall, and that's what I do. I mean, so I'm not going to be going 30-0 in these battlegrounds because I don't have two healers. I don't have God. If I had, if I had two people setting up kills like rogues or mages with CC, and two people healing me, fuck, that would be sick. That would be totally sick. If I was playing my hunter, or I was playing my boomkin, or even demon hunter, classes I feel very comfortable with, even my unholy DK. I would kick ass. I'd love to see how what kind of numbers I could rack up. I really would, but I don't always have two healers. I don't always have two people setting things up. I try to keep it real. I try to keep it from things from the perspective of what other people have, because not all of us are running around with two pocket healers. Not all of us are running around with two people setting up kills for us. And this is the purest, most the most basic aspect of PvP. This is what people experience first, these battlegrounds. And if they're not fair, and if they don't get a sense of fairness, if they don't have a sense of fun, if they are constantly losing, or they are even constantly winning and thinking, wow, this takes no effort, PvP is easy. The point is, it's not going to attract new players. It's not going to keep new players. It's not going to be good for spectators. And that's not good for the game. And that is the current state things are in. Now, I don't want to, throw this whole Negative Nancy on things. Negative Nancy, go in the closet, realize you're a lesbian when you come out. I don't care. But here's the thing. You gotta make it really, really fair and very, very fun on a basic level. If you do, you're going to attract new people. You're going to attract new spectators. And I've said this many times, and I'll say it again, esports is the future. You would think that Blizzard has no brain for trying to promote this game as an esport in its current state, and you'd be right, because this, in its current state as an esport, is absolutely fucking retarded. It's like a baseball game with no foul balls. So if someone hits it in the upper deck behind the catcher, you got to run all the way up to the upper deck to get the ball, at which point it's a base clearing home run. That's the sense of fairness that is in the current state of PvP. That's the sense of lunacy that's in the current state of PvP. And eventually, I'm very optimistic, because eventually Blizzard's going to realize and fix it. They're going to get over this Emperor's New Clothes syndrome and think everything is great and people just love their PvP. Because a lot of people just love their PvP based on other forms of PvP that they experienced in the past. Whether it's WoD, or it's Wrath of the Lich King, or Kato, or whatever it was that gave them that cherry high, that gave them that sense of greatness and fun with PvP. And some people are just playing this game just because, hey, they're hoping that it'll get better. They're hoping that Blizzard would realize that, hey, you have a golden gem here and you're fucking it up. And I think eventually they would realize, because their greed is going to be trumped by their stupidity. And their greed for money eventually is going to kick in, and they're going to realize that this is not attracting new spectators, this is not attracting new viewers, this is not promoting or growing esports, and Holink is going to be reassigned. It's going to happen. I don't know when, but I'm very, very confident that PvP has hit rock bottom, and there's no other way to go but up. There's no other way to go but up. And trust in Blizzard's greed that they're going to do something to try to fix this. And let's say I'm wrong. I am perfectly capable of being wrong, but let's say I'm wrong. I guarantee you, with the kind of money that's in esports, that's growing faster and more, it's just growing faster than the gaming, the movie, and the music industry combined. Even almost combined, multiplied by 2. It's free promotion for their game, the tournaments that are being showcased. And Blizzard is just showcasing it as is. And I got news for you. My views are down when it comes to PvP videos compared to what they were in WoD. And they're down across the board. Swifty is streaming fucking raids now. So PvP is not what it used to be. the perspective of players is like, this sucks. We don't like watching it. We don't like participating. And I guarantee you that Blizzard's stupidity is going to take a back seat to their greed, and eventually they'll realize it. But if I'm wrong, there's too much money involved to the point that some other MMO will realize, hey, we have an opportunity to snag that player base, WoW's PvP player base, and somebody will do it. And it could very well come from an existing MMO. It could very well come from an existing MMO. You might think that a game like WildStar is dead, which in reality now it is, but maybe if they made some changes to the PvP, it would lure more players. Or the same thing with Guild Wars 2, which is certainly not dead. And don't get the wrong idea here. Guild Wars 2 does have issues with PvP, but at least they address them. At least they acknowledge them. They don't play this like Emperor's New Clothes syndrome and just ignore everything and think it goes away. It's like, hey, how do you like my schlong hanging out? Isn't this a great new pair of pants? No, you're fucking naked. And Blizzard just doesn't get that. They just don't get that. And eventually they will, because like I said, their greed will trump their stupidity. It happens in life, it happens in business. And whenever I look at a game, I look at it from three perspectives. I look at it from the player perspective. Is this fun? Is this worth my time investment? As I was going to go to Lighthouse, but I stick around here at Waterworks because somebody called Inc. Waterworks. So here I am. So I look at it from three perspectives. One, is it fun for the player? Two, is it profitable for Blizzard? Because Blizzard's not going to do things unless it's profitable for them. And that's why it's really sad that participation in PvP is down across the board. Because that means less allocation of resources for PvP going forward. But yet Blizzard is still allocating resources because they want that esports dollar. So that's why, I repeat, once again, maybe it sinks in, it's going to hit a point where their greed is going to trump their stupidity. Holink is either going to be fired or reassigned. He's a guy. You don't want to see him lose his job, but easily reassign him. Put him on fucking pet battles. Put him on fucking professions. Just get him out of PvP. Please. That would give me an incredible amount of optimism for WoW's PvP future. You could have fucking Forrest Gump run PvP for all I care. Just anybody but Holinka. I'm done with Holinka. I'm done with him. He's a nice guy. Maybe Blizzard kind of has him by the coattails and they won't let him run free with the ball. And maybe there's a reason for that. Or maybe there isn't. The bottom line is he needs to be not fired, but reassigned. Make him a fucking janitor. I don't give a shit. Just get rid of him. He's bad for PvP. But this was a really close match. As you can see, 1484, 1321. And now I'm jumping for joy because I feel that win is at the heels, lifting me up. 15-0, not bad. Top damage. Luxeley saying thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Leave a like. Be subscribed. Have a great one.